playing this first turn yesterday. But you watched it, great, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't watch it, you might want to go back and have a look. Just introduces the game. Lots of tweaks going on in my mind as we were doing the game, and I thought, right, I'm going to change them. So I've changed them, which is another nice thing about writing your own rules. So what first tweak is missing events and getting confused. So to get a card, you have to pay for it, and you pay for it by throwing a d6. If that's a 6, it would have been an event, but I've paid for my shuffled up card now, so I can reveal that to show me Dr. Percival Snips. Now at the moment, Dr. Snips is on the beach, so I'm not bothered about him. He's quite happy in the dunes. Two lovely sisters from Whitby. They pay for a card. It's not an event. The card is Pirates of the Black Dog with a leadership of 4. And because that's got everything on that I need to continue with the game, I give that card to the player who's controlling the Pirates of the Black Dog. Oh, that'll be me then. So, another tweak. The card, rather than put it back at the bottom of the pack and get it mixed up, I'm going to put with the unit so I know it's operated. And character cards, I had them in and I kept saying, oh, I'll leave that on the side, I'll do that there. These 2 character cards are attached to the Pirates, so I've taken them out. Now they both have leaderships of 3, which is worse than the Pirates. Now I've made a mess there. Because they're leaders, it's their leadership that's going to count. If I hadn't given the Pirates any leaders, they'd be more likely to follow orders. So I've messed up. So the first job I'm going to do, I'm going to ask one of the leaders, Akhtar, to help carry the treasure back to the ship. He's got a leadership of 3, so he needs to pass that by getting a 1 or a 2. And that's not going to tell him anything because I threw a direction dice. And he failed. Now I use this. The other thing is, everybody gets 2 turns. 2 actions. So you might move and fire and reload, rather than 1. Speed the game up. So I'm going to throw 2 d6 because they could move 6. I'm going to throw a direction dice, and that's the direction they are going to go. And the wall you can see running along the church is heading north. Boop. So they're going to go southeast 6. So this is south, that's east. They're going to go southeast 6, which is really going to put them in the corner of that wall. And so I think what they've done is they've got to the wall and they've followed it thusly, and they're taking their loot with them. So we've got 4 pirates there carrying loot. The other leader, Bonnie, got the same leadership. She was going to be ordered to stay in the graveyard, putting down covering fire. So again, she needs a 1 or a 2. Nope, she doesn't. So the opposite of covering fire is going to be moving. So she does exactly the opposite of what I want. So again, all the chaps in the graveyard who were meant to be stationary now go southwest. Now, so she decides, in her infinite wisdom, to lead her crew that way. But that means I have to cross a wall, which is a minus a d6. So they don't go 9, they go 5, which is going to put her there. It's going to put him 9 because he's not climbed a wall. He's not climbed a wall. He's not climbed a wall. He can only go 5, so he's not going to get to climb the wall. And this chap here, if you watched yesterday, when he was in the church looting, he drew an event, and the event delayed him So he's literally just emerged now. And that is the end of the turn for the sailors. So again, I'm going to pay for a card. It's not an event. It is, French regulars. These are grenadiers. They've got a leadership of 6. So this is bad news. My next job is to find out where they come on. And before the game, I marked various areas of the game with micro dice, and that tells me where they're going to come on. So they're going to come on at 3. So that's the micro dice with a 3. That tells us where the French regulars are going to arrive. They're arriving from there because there's a small Coast Guard station along there, and either by accident because they're on an early morning patrol, or because they've been summoned, or because they've heard noise or seen the black dog out at sea, they arrive there. They could have arrived in many other places that would have been far better for me and far worse for them. That's really not where I want them to be. That separates my best unit from the richest areas of the plantation by their best unit. So I thought about it a bit, and there's options for them. They could try and climb the wall, they could get down amongst the sand dunes, they could just instantly open fire. But I think because they're a 6 and my men are a 5, which gives them +1, they are just going to go charging in. So having thought about what to do, they take 2 moves. So the first action, 2 actions. First action, they arrive. Second action, they could try and avoid, they could form a line. But what they've decided to do, they are better than the pirate crew, the sailors. Only by 1, but they are better. So 2 of them have charged in. 3 of them have gone into the sand dunes to try and get cover. And 3 of them are preparing to shoot, and they've gone on alert so that they can hold that fire. Now we come to the hand-to-hand combat. In the first hand-to-hand combat, the French are going to be throwing the red dice +1 because they are a 6. I will be throwing the black dice without any additions because I'm not as good as them. Red dice +1. Yeah, red dice wins. That is an instant casualty. Now this chap here is actually James Smalls, and James Smalls is a character, and he gets +1 with the sword. So he and the Frenchman are equal. Drat. And the rest of them are where they are. Now my crew have lost 2 men, so that's a morale check. Every time you lose a man, that's a morale test. So I've changed morale. It was too complicated. I was forgetting it myself, so I couldn't expect anybody else to remember it. My unit have lost 2 men, so they plus and minus average dice, just because sometimes that gives you a good result, sometimes it gives you a bad result. Most rules have something like A class +2, or if you're in this position you are a -1. I like the unpredictability of this. So +3 -3. So they start on 0. Now I apply the modifiers. So they have lost 2 men. They do still have an officer within 6. So that's +1, which makes them -1. It's not a surprise, it's not explosives. So that's pretty much -1. They're going to fail. So the final result must be higher than the table below. They have a leadership of 5, which means they have to have a morale factor of 2. They haven't. They've got a morale factor of 1. So I now throw a d6. 6. Go to ground, gaining +1 cover. So that whole unit now has hit the dirt and got into a firefight. Did not go as well as I might have liked. So what I like about rules like this is that I'm playing myself. I am Pelham Cardew. There's always a tendency to be a bit biased, even if you don't want to be. But rules like this, it's so hard. I really would never have organised a game like this with A-class grenadiers turning up and my men running off in different directions. It's been a little bit of a mess. I'm going to pay the penalty for a card. Didn't get an event. This is the Sailors of the Black Dog, who are the chaps who have just been fighting the French Grenadiers. Now, because the card forced us to take cover, we haven't had to pay for that. It was a good morale throw for that purpose, because it means I'm going to get extra throws in saving, and I haven't had to. I've still got 2 actions, so I'm going to take my 2 actions. I'm under cover and they aren't. So here I've got a chap with 2 pistols. Oh, he's laid on the edge of the sand dunes with 2 pistols, and at that range, 0 to 6, it is 5 and 6. That's a hit, and that fella has to save on 6 because he stood up out in the open. He does. Oh, you chappy Herbert. The chap next to him has got a pistol and a cutlass. Obviously he's not using his cutlass, he's shooting at him. So let's do that. Needs a 5 or 6. Hit him to save. The Frenchman needs a 6. Nope, Frenchman's been shot. He has a pistol. I can see the handle. So he'll have a shot. Now these Frenchmen have got cover. So see how this works. He's going to have a shot. 1 pistol. Needs 5 or 6. No. Next man. Oh, he's got a blunderbuss. So the blunderbuss, that's at that range, is 5 or 6. But he throws 2 dice at short range. So he's peppering the sand with sort of little ball bearings. Oh, he splatters him. They're everywhere. That fella gets a save for each hit, so he gets 2 dice on that save. He's in cover for both of them, so that's going to give him another dice. But he hasn't been able to dig in and put the cover marker on, so he doesn't get any more dice than that. So the first shot, he needs 6s to save. Nope, he's dead. No point throwing for the second one. If you're dead, you're dead. If you want to know, just because you're gory, yeah. 2 of those, the blunderbuss has double bliffed him. That's why all the scenery is falling down. And then I've got 2 men down there. The first one, he'll have a pop at him. And again, it's going to be a 5 or 6. Nope. Now a 1, unfortunately, means some sort of problem with his pistol. You could say it's a misfire, blockage. He might have bullets. He might be a bit slow reloading it. So he fired it. That wasn't the problem. The problem is he can't. Next time he's got to do something about it. And that's true on a 1 all the time, because black powder weapons are notoriously unreliable. And then we've got another man there in the dunes, and again, 5 or 6, no. So that's all that lot. Before anything else, the French must test morale. We do the modifiers. Each unit, no officer, no, the officer's there, I can see him. No losses caused by fire or explosion, no losses CNC, not surprised or ambushed. So that's it really. They've got a 1. And I've got officer. Yeah, +1. The morale factor is 2. So they passed their morale. The morale factor, the leadership factor is 2. They lost a man. They gained 1 because the officer is there within 6 inches. That's a pass. So they don't have to do anything. It's difficult to keep passing morale, but the effect of it not being passed isn't awful. The idea is to keep the game fluid so you don't get bogged down. Now my sailors have still got another move, because remember they weren't forced to do anything. The morale kept them standing. So they fired. Now they could reload, instantly reload. But what I'm going to do is charge. And because we've got a leadership of 5, they'll do this unless they get a 6. 5. So him, in fact, those 3 will attack him, those 3 will attack him. So here we go. So I'm going to get a green dice for this. Yeah. I'm going to get a green dice. So the green dice is I think that's James, isn't it? That's Billy. So James has gone for a lie down. So Billy Spears is the green one. Because he's a character, he gets +1. So he gets a 5. The ordinary pirate, my sailor, is a -1 because the Frenchman. Well, let's do it the proper way around. The Frenchman is a +1. Frenchman's a 6. And so this is my sailor who isn't plus anything. Okay? The way we do it is we say he beat him. So he has to come off. But he beat him, because when you add 5 to 3, you get 8, which beats that. So he has to come off. Same up here. They get a +1. That's a 5. My man in blue gets a plus. No, he doesn't. He's not a character. He just looks nice. None of mine get a plus anything. Oh gosh, look at that. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. So he kills him. That still leaves him with 4. So he kills him. Which leaves him with 3. So he kills him as well. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Zut alors! What happened then? That was a shambles. Nanas. So this chap here in the dunes, oh, he's got a 7. Want that? And so these French are hard as nails. I'm having a nightmare. Oh, so my other 2 men trying to get a 7. I've got 6. So it's best versus best. So that still leaves 1 there, which makes that a 2. And that makes that a 1. So that beats him. And then that beats him. That's another 2 gone. Oh, flip. Oh, man. So gone. Belly up. So the French lost 1. They still have to test morale, losing 1. Sadly, I lost a lot more than 1. Oh no. I lost 5 in total. But I lost 1 last time, so. But anyway, it don't matter, they all get added together. So I'll do mine first, because mine is dreadful. Plus 4 minus 3. So I'm plus 1. Yippee! Watch this space. I am minus 5 because I've got 8 men in a unit, there's 3 left. So I'm now minus 7. Let's make that. What we'll do, we'll use red dice to show the minus. That's a minus 7 there. Oh my word. I've lost officers. So let's make it 8. Oh gosh. I can't see any decent scores here. No officer. Oh no. 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 8. And they are unit 5, so need a 2. That's a big fail. Minus 8, they need plus 2. Right, so what's going to happen to them? Let's find out, shall we, boys and girls? 6. Oh, now that could have been worse. That really could have been a lot worse, depending on your point of view. It's go to ground. So they've rushed up here and they've absolutely got a leathering. But what they've done is pop back to the beach and taken cover. So let's have them take cover around this boat. And another thing I like about sort of our own rules is, you know, you can make up the story about how they've ended up where they are. It's not, in an ideal world, this is not what I would want to happen. 3 1s against a 5. Oh man. Oh dear. Right, so my morale is bad. The French, plus 4, minus 5. Oh, the minus 1. Minus 2 because they lost a man. Minus 2. But they've got an officer. He's still alive, he's there. So that's minus 1. 2, 4 men out of 8. That's another minus. They're going to fail because that's another minus 4. They've lost 2, 4, 5. They've lost 3 men. Minus 1 becomes minus 4. But they need a 2. So they're 6 away from that. So that's a fail. So they are going to get a 2, which means run. Double dice, straight away from the enemy, ignoring obstacles. They're just going to pole vault obstacles. Oh no. But it means they've got the backs turned. Because it's a rout, in effect, in old school, in old money. Which might not be very good for them, depending on whose turn comes out next. Oh man. That's a bloodbath. When it comes to injuries and things, there's ways of dealing with that, which I will come to at some point. This is a lot more revolting than I expected it to be. Pay for a card. No event. It is. Oh, the Plantation Militia. So one of the things I wanted to do with the game was to have a situation where troops could easily be split all over the board but still belong to the same unit. And so there are Plantation Militia all over, and they're all going to get to move separately. They've only got a leadership of 2, which means they're going to have to throw a 1 or a 2 or move at random. Or if I wanted them to move, they're going to shoot. So let's find them, and I apologise if my moving around is disturbing things. Right, I've got a laddie there who he's going to have to move because he's in the middle of nowhere. So he is going to move. Ooh, 12 north. No, not 12 north. 12 north. Takes him off the board and fleeing into the jungle. Twit. Right. I've got another one. There's 3 near the militia commander. Only 2 of them are militia. So I think they're going to want to come to that wall. So I want them to come to the wall. No, they go wherever they like. Oh, that's not bad. South, but they go 6. Still got to take that off. Oh, perfect. That's turned out to be exactly where I wanted them. Yeah. Could not have been better. There's a chap here. I want him to keep escorting the wagon to safety. That's not what's going to happen. He's going to abandon the wagon and he's going to go southeast 6. Oh, next to his little pal there, going to have a little conflab about what's happening. But the man there who he's willing to chat to, I want him to hold his position. Yes, he does. He holds his position. Good. So there's one here. He must be aware of these pirates by now. So oh yeah, look at that. In an ideal world, I want him to shoot that pirate. No. So he moves 12 northwest. Where are you? What are you doing? 12. He's not. I suppose he could run through there. Seems a bit balmy, but there you go. That's what he does. What's the whole point is they've lost it. Blind panic. I don't know what to do. Any other militia? No, I don't think there are. I mean, there are. So, yeah, there's 2 in the factory area. So, the one at the back, he needs to get in a better position. I'd like him to pull back in an ideal world. Yes, he does. There you go. And I'd like him to take cover. No, he doesn't. So he goes southeast. 7. Interesting manoeuvre. Puts him there. Maybe he thinks those French regulars have got a plan. Oh, the fool. So, I'm going to pay for a card. That's a 2. And the card is the overseer, with a leadership of 2, armed with a pistol and a sword. Now I know that the overseer is in his house. If I was playing with another person, they wouldn't have to tell me. They would just decide what the overseer was doing and see what the result was, and I might not know. So he's in there anyway. If I get 1 or 2, I can do what I like with the overseer. Of course I don't. So I suppose in an ideal world I'd want him to come out. So I want the overseer to come out. He's failed, so he's not going to. That's basically a plan. In fact, that man on the door, you can bring him inside and do exactly the opposite of what I wanted to happen. Drat. I shall pay for an event. Yep. And the card is random slaves. So I won't show you all the slaves, but they failed to get a 2. My plan was to have the slaves run, get away into the jungle, but they can't, they failed. So really, I suppose their option is cower in abject terror, stay where they are. The ones who are near a building, I'm going to send them into a building. So she can bellow at her child to get in there. There's a child behind that building dealing with pigs, and she will run off the board and escape. Let's pay for the card. No event. Rally. That's useful because the French are in a position where they need to rally, so they just rally. It could be argued, I suppose, that my sailors need to rally because they're dug in, but I'm quite happy with them dug in, to be honest. But the French have now formed a firing line, so instead of me having the opportunity to attack them in the rear, they've now got an opportunity to blast me to kingdom come. Pay for a card. It's not an event. It's Sir Pelham Cardew, my hero. What a lad. So, Pelham, what are you going to do? Sir Pelham is a true hero, natural 6. What I did was I said, if your pirate crew, your captain is going to be at least as good as your best leader. Otherwise, why would they vote for him to be captain? And because I didn't lucky enough to get a hero, that in my head made Pelham a hero. So yeah, he's going to be heroic in that case, and he's got 2 actions. He's going to use them to go 6 to there. Okay, he's going to use 2 actions to get himself there against that wall. He's commanding Anne, and she will do the same. I pay, no event, reload. Another handy one. So everyone that's got smoke on the weapons can now take it off. Pay for a card. Not an event. It's the plantation owner with a leadership of 2, which he passes. Oh, looking around, the plantation owner considered leading his family and servants out of the back of the plantation house, but sending a man onto the roof, he noticed pirates creeping along the wall, and there are pirates to the front, so he decided, in retrospect, he's probably better off staying where he is. At least he's got some cover. Pay for a card. Oh, it's an event. Do that first. So, go to the event chart. Oh, for 1. I think I had this yesterday. So, for 1. Unless a leader or second in command is within 6 inches, troops of this class, which is the card I've just turned over. Oh, it's Jack Perry, the cabin boy. Right, so unless a leader or second in command is within 6 inches of Jack, he moves a random d6 in a random direction. So again, could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. The jack is just moved. So let's. Oh, he's just all right. Sorry. He just goes a bit further along the beach behind the scummy thugs. So yeah, not even bother showing you that. It's boring. It's funny. There's loads of events on that chart, and every time I throw it, I get a one. Pay for an event. Nope. End turn. There we go, enter. So not all the cards came out, and we've ended the turn. A quick final look. There's Jack running along the beach after his random move. The bloodthirsty fellows didn't even have a card come out. That was where the bulk of the action was, where two elite units went toe to toe. And then back here, you've just got lots of people either hiding or generally not being very good at what you've paid to do. It's very much my style of game, and I wrote the rules, so it's going to be, isn't it? I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's not very formal. There's a lot of making it up as you go along, but that's Dungeon Masters back in the 70s and 80s. That's what we had to do. You can almost guarantee somebody's going to ask to do something you haven't thought about, but you can't go, I don't know. You've got to be snip, snap, snip, snap, snap, and good. Bing, bang, bing, bing, bash, bash, and give an answer as if it was already prepared to keep the game flowing. I like that. Build up the excitement. Make it fun. Get enthusiastic. Have a laugh. I know you don't all like it. Some of you might, and that'd be nice. Let me know. That'd be good. And maybe if you want to pinch ideas, pinch them. And if you can see ways that I've made an absolute eye or ear hole of this, let me know. I'm more than happy to change it, tweak it, give something else a try. For now, I'm going to say, ta-da, Chuck.